bọ́jọ́ bá pẹ́ títí ọjọ́ àpín o bọ́nà bá jìnnà jìnnà àdópin o àti sáré àdópin aré.
Mo jẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ́ fún orílẹ̀-èdè mi ilẹ̀ Odùduwà tó ń ṣàn fún wàrà àti fún oyin, ilẹ̀ tó kún fún àwọn akọni ọgbọ́n ètò àti òye. Mo ṣe ìlérí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ológo ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, ìtànṣán oòrùn láti la ayé já nílẹ̀ Áfíríkà, láti gbé ilẹ̀ Odùduwà lárugẹ. Mo pinnu láti fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan fún ìlọsíwájú ìran Yorùbá. Mo fọwọ́ sọ̀yà pé n kò ní dalẹ̀ tàbí ṣọ̀tẹ̀ sí ìṣọ̀kan àti ìtẹ̀síwájú orílẹ̀-èdè mi ilẹ̀ Odùduwà. Èmi yóò fi gbogbo ipá, ọkàn, iṣẹ́, ọgbọ́n àti ìṣe mi sin orílẹ̀-èdè mi ní òtítọ́ àti lódodo títí ọjọ́ ayé mi. Gbogbo ìyànjú àwọn akọni tó ti lọ kò ní já sófo láti ọwọ́ mi títí dé ìrandíran tí ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn. Mo ṣe ìlérí pé ẹ̀sìn tàbí ìṣèlú kò ní yà wá nílẹ̀ Odùduwà. Tó bá wáyé bẹ́ẹ̀, mo lè lo ọ̀kan ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó kù sára mi láti fi ṣègbè àti jàjàgbara fún orílẹ̀-èdè mi. Ilẹ̀ Odùduwà, ìran Yorùbá, èdè kan, àṣà kan àti ìṣe kan ló so wá pọ̀ láéláé lágbára Elédùwà.
bọ́jọ́ bá pẹ́ títí ọjọ́ àpín o bọ́nà bá jìnnà jìnnà àdópin o àti sáré àdópin aré àmàtí jìyà àdópin ìyà o àti sunsun àti kan ògiri ó má ti gbẹ̀yìn kọ́ lọ́tẹ̀ ìmọ̀ o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o.
ilé òní gbóná kárẹ́nu omi kọ́lé ayé òní kóró kálọ̀ dífá ọ̀run o láyé náà la ó wà títà ó fi ṣẹ́gun lójú àwọn ọlọ́tẹ̀ ẹkún akọjá òkùnkùn ajímọ́lẹ̀ fáwa ọmọ Yorùbá ọjọ́ ayọ̀ súnmọ́lé o.
ṣé bí mo sọ gbogbo ìgbà ni mo máa ń sọ tán bá pílé orin yìí gbà náà pé ọjọ́ ayọ̀ Yorùbá ti súnmọ́lé. a ti rí wípé díẹ̀ kẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjọ́ ayọ̀ tí a ò tiẹ̀ rò ó ń tètè súnmọ́lé ju bá a ṣe rò lọ. mo kí yín káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Yorubanation Now. ètò kan ni lórí BGI TV tí máa ń ṣojú ọmọ Yorùbá káàkiri ayé. ètò tó máa ń sọ nípa dáadáa wo ló yẹ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Yorùbá tó sì ń kọ ìwà ẹrú tí àwọn kan fẹ́ máa kó Yorùbá. ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé tàbí kẹ́ fìdílé nǹkan kẹ́jẹ́ àjọjẹ̀ gbádùn ètò tòní torí pé oúnjẹ aládùn ni mo gbé wá. ká tó máa lọ mo dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Olódùmarè ọba tó dá mi, ọba lónìí, ọba lánàá, ọba lọ́jọ́ gbogbo. òun ló fi sọ́mọ̀ aṣọ́bora, ló pàṣẹ ní sọ́mọ̀ keje, àṣẹ sì múlẹ̀ gbogbo sọ́mọ̀ bákan náà ni kò múlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ méjèèje. mo dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run, mo dúpẹ́ ẹ̀mí tó fún mi tó tún sì jẹ́ kójú wa ríra. mo wá bí Ọlọ́run kó má ti kàtún rí báyìí láíláí, kó fún wa lẹ́mìí gígùn àtàlàfíà ara táfi ṣètò pọ̀ nú ẹ̀. kò sẹ́dà tí ò ní kú, kò sì ṣàwáyé èkú, àmọ́ kọlọ́jà ṣètò pọ̀ ń bẹ̀. ẹ wo ibi tí wọ́n kọ subscribe sí fẹ́yìn tẹ̀ wò wá lórí YouTube. ẹ bá wa tẹ̀ ẹ́, a wà lórí Gbàgede Ìmọ̀, bàbá Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ TV. ẹ subscribe fún wa mẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ sì tẹ aago tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. ẹ bá ti tẹ ALL all yóò yọ sí yín, ẹ sátẹ̀yẹn náà. gbogbo ìgbà tá a bá ń ṣètò sórí ìkànnì yìí ni wọ́n máa gbá lámì ẹ̀wà fún yín lélẹ̀ ìtàmọ̀ sí notification. bákan náà nípa ìtẹ́ wà lórí Facebook, ẹ follow wa bẹ́ẹ̀. a wà lórí Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ with Aláwìyé Adébáyọ̀. ẹ wà rẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà lórí Instagram, àwa náà gbẹ́yìn o. a wà lórí Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ _22. ẹ follow wa bẹ́ẹ̀ náà. tó mo ṣe tán ní ìjẹta ní stúdíò kí n máa lọlé ni mo rí tí kọ́ọ̀lù yẹn ń wọlé lemọ́lemọ́ fún mi. kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? ni wọ́n ní bàbá gbà bí Sunday Igboho àwọn tí wọ́n máa gbé wá sí Nàìjíríà wọ́n ti wà ní Benin kíní kan. ó dà bí má tún tí receive kọ́ọ̀lù yẹn tán mẹ́sẹ̀jì kan bá wọlé. ó wọlé sórí WhatsApp, ó jẹ́ audio voice note. bá dẹ̀ kílíkì lórí ẹ̀ mo listen sí ni mo rí tó nítọ̀hún náà pariwo gbogbo ẹ̀yàn ọmọ Yorùbá dìde, wọ́n ti dé Benin Republic, wọ́n ti fẹ́ gbé olóyè Ìgbòho wá sí Nàìjíríà. Kódà yẹn tiẹ̀ sọ pé jọ Sunday lọ́la yìí wọ́n máa gbé dé Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n ní God forbid. Ṣé rí Yorùbá, gentility of a tiger òun lọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá. Is not to show his cowardness. Yíyú ẹkùn tiwa kì í ṣe tójó bí tójó kọ́. Àwa kì í pariwo. Yorùbá kì í ṣe gìràgìrà. Àwa ò kì í fi violence ṣe nǹkan wa. Kó tó di pé ó di ń tọ́ lọ gbé lóyè Ìgbòho. Gbogbo rallies tó ṣe pátápátá peacefully ni. Ẹ lè rí kọ́ wá sọ pé àwọn tí wọ́n agitate fún Yorùbá nation ni wọ́n lọ jólé ńbẹ̀ yẹn, ni wọ́n lọ yìnbọn pààyàn ńbẹ̀ yẹn. Rárá o. Àwa máa ń ṣe nǹkan tiwa peacefully ni. Ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá rẹ́ni tó fẹ́ fi ọ̀bọ lọ̀ wá Yorùbá, a máa ń kọ̀ ọ́. Bàbá rẹ́ni tó bá fẹ́ fi ọ̀bọ lọ̀ wá, a máa ń kọ̀ ọ́. Olóyè Ìgbòho yàtọ̀ sí Nnamdi Kanu. Orúkọ ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni wọ́n jẹ́, ẹ̀yà ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ dẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti wá. Ní tí Nàìjíríà ṣe fún Nnamdi Kanu ní agbára Ọlọ́run kò lè, irú ẹ̀ ò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ sólóyè Ìgbòho. Torí pé Yorùbá ní ẹni tó jí sí kòtò wọn ló kó ará yòókù lọ́gbọ́n. Àti kọ́gbọ́n látara tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Ọlọ́gbẹ̀ni. Torí ẹ̀ ló jẹ́ pé ibi tí olóyè Ìgbòho wà, mo fẹ́ fi dá gbogbo wa lójú pé security tí wọ́n beef up síbẹ̀ ó kọjá tí Benin gan rò. Láti Sunday àná mi ò ṣe fídíò kí n wá fi dáhùn ìpè yẹn. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹsẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ làwa náà ti gbóníṣẹ́ dìde láti ṣe ohun tó yẹ ká ṣe lábẹ́lẹ̀. Náà dẹ̀ ti jẹ́ kó yé wa pé ẹ lọ jókòó yín. Kì í ṣe olóyè Sunday Ìgbòho. Bẹ́nìkan fẹ́ gbé kú òǹbí, àwọn tó máa gbé pọ̀ o. Wọ́n láwọn tí wọ́n máa gbé pé àwọn pọ̀. Nítorí ìdí èyí, mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní agbára Ọlọ́run ẹ jẹ́ ká fọkàn balẹ̀. Circumstances tó fi release olóyè Ìgbòho, a nídìí láti jọ tẹ́tílẹ̀ ká gbọ́. Torí a máa gbọ́ nu fídíò tẹ́ ń wò yìí. Báwo náà ṣe release ẹ̀? Ta ni wọ́n release ẹ̀ fún? Kí ni condition tí wọ́n fún? Débi pé gbàtà náà bá gbọ́, bóyá ẹ̀rù tún sì máa bà wá, àbẹ̀rù ò ní bà wá mọ́. Ṣé ká fọkàn balẹ̀ ni àbí kẹ́rù tún sì máa bà wá? Ṣé rí n tó wà wájú Yorùbá ó pọ̀ ju gbogbo n tá à ń rò yẹn lọ. Àwọn tí wọ́n strategize, àwọn tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́. Tá bá ti ń gbọ́ rumors kan, ká má jẹ́ kó ti kó wa lẹ́mìí sókè. Ṣé rí ojú wa tó ti là yìí, ìwọ̀sí tó ti fi lọ̀ wá yìí, ní agbára Ọlọ́run ò tún ní ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́. Àwọn bàbá méjì tó lọ fi kẹ́ wa, Ọlọ́run ti fi wọ́n kẹ́ wa náà. Àwọn tí wọ́n di alànà mú, tí wọ́n di Yorùbá, ìlànà ọmọ Yorùbá mú, Ọlọ́run ti fi wọ́n kẹ́ wa. Àti professor tí wọ́n gbọ́ French, àti professor tó jẹ́ Yorùbá ni wọ́n, bàbá Banji Akintoye àti ẹnìkejì wọn, ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀. Pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run. Ṣọ́n ti wá gbólóyè Ìgbòho ọ̀hún dé Nàìjíríà. Nígbà tẹ́yìn ọmọ Nàìjíríà, tẹ́yìn ọmọ Yorùbá ò bá ti parun mọ́. Nígbà tá a bá jọ ń pariwo síta, kán tó ṣe ta ti pariwo ẹ̀ wọ́n á kéwọ́ ọmọ wọn báṣọ. Àwọn náà ń bẹ̀rù. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lọmọ Yorùbá náà dẹ̀ dákẹ́, gbogbo alájọ strategize. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ fọkàn balẹ̀ wípé wọ́n ń gbébọn Nàìjíríà yẹn, ní agbára Ọlọ́run kò ní ṣẹlẹ̀. Kò sí tó fẹ́ wá mú Nàìjíríà for now. Títí tíjọ táwọn tí wọ́n tọ́rẹ́lì láti jẹ́ kòkò fún máa fi kú òǹbẹ̀. Pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run, olóyè Sunday Ìgbòho ò ní dé Nàìjíríà wá jẹ́jọ́ kankan. Ó máa wọ Nàìjíríà bí ìgbà pé pírẹ́sídẹ̀ǹtì wọ́ọ̀lù ni. inshallah a máa fi tìlù ti fọ́n tẹ̀rín táyọ̀ a máa fi pàdé ẹ̀ ní wá sí Nàìjíríà nígbà tó bá bọ́lẹ̀ ẹnu aeroplane. ẹ̀yin náà ẹ jẹ́ ká ti fi pẹlẹbẹ wò day one tí wọ́n ti gbé níbẹ̀ ní helicopter ti wà standby tó máa gbé wá Nàìjíríà ṣọ́wá succeed torí pọ́lọ́ ń wà lẹ́yìn ẹ̀. tolóyè Sunday Igboho nìyẹn ṣe wá rí Yorubanation yìí èmi ti rí lárídájú pé tó bá sọ pé no going back ó ti dà bẹ́ẹ̀ báyìí. People are bent on going and wọ́n ti dúró lórí pé dandan sẹ́ Yorùbá máa gba ìjọba tiẹ̀. Àrídájú dẹ̀ ti wà fún. Kódà àwọn èèyàn ti gbégbèsè kọjá ká tó náà padà sí no going back ní lóòótọ́. Mo fẹ́ fídíò kan hàn wá òun gan ni màá dẹ̀ fi wálẹ̀ pẹ̀lú tí màá fi máa ṣe lọ. Bàbá Banji Akintoye gbogbo tó ń bà wá lẹ́rù ní bàbá yẹn fi ọkàn balẹ̀ ṣe àlàyé ẹ̀ àtàwọn àti pòfẹ́sọ̀. Mo fẹ́ rántí orúkọ Prof yẹn ni o. Àtàwọn àti bàbá yẹn ni wọ́n jọ jókòó tí wọ́n ti jọ ṣe àrídájú ẹ̀ pé kò sí ní tó jọ o. Professor Adeniran àbí kankan náà jẹ́ so àwọn Professor Adeniran Adéwálé bóyá Adéwọlé dẹ̀ ni bàbá yẹn àti Professor Banji Akintoye àwọn méjèèjì iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣe lábẹ́lẹ̀ ó kọjá tí làkàyẹ̀dá lè gbé. Kódà títí tó fi dórí bí wọ́n ṣe gbọ́ olóyè Sunday Igboho sílẹ̀ for almost 1 hour làwọn bàbá méjèèjì fi sọ̀rọ̀ lórí kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ kí ni ìgbésẹ̀ tá à ń gbé báwo làrí dájú yẹn ṣe wà pé Yorubanation ṣe no going back ni. mo bọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ lọlé agbára náà mo padà bọ̀.
This is good news to all. But first of all, write this number down. 1-845-293-8937. You will get through to Define Travels and Tours. They help you process and obtain USA work permit visa, tourism and visiting visa, vacation and cruises. Wow! The USA work permit visa allows you to legitimately work anywhere in USA once you arrive. Interesting. Call Divine Travels and Tours, New York, USA on 1-845-293-8937 or send email to divinetravelstours5@gmail.com. Divine Travels and Tours is tested, trusted, and reliable.
Divine Travels tí ẹ wò tán yẹn gbogbo ẹnu ni mo fi sọ mo dẹ̀ fọwọ́ sọ̀yà pé lágbára Ọlọ́run ẹ̀yin tó ń kẹ́ lọ ṣiṣẹ́ ní Amẹ́ríkà nìkan lòun ń ṣe. He always said it kó wọn mọ̀ pa country mi but anything US is very competent and is very capable. Ó ti ṣe fẹ́ tẹ́mi mọ́ rí dáadáa tí mo ti fojú ara mi rí. Kódà the first one ni pé wọ́n ṣe work permit láti bí lọ but èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ láwọn document kan tó gbọ́dọ̀ meet. Ẹ pè nọ́mbà yẹn tẹ́ bá pè kẹjọ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ rí pé n tó dáa ni wọ́n ń ṣe. Now wọ́n sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé bàbá Banji Akintoye wọ́n ti gbìyànjú gan-an. Ó yẹ jẹ́ ká jọ lọ gbọ́n táwọn méjèèjì sọ. Àkọ́kọ́ náà lórí báwo lolóyè Igboho ṣe jáde kí ni condition tán fún kí ni condition tó wà ń sìn báwo lọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ ṣe jẹ́ gan. Then Yorubanation níbo la dé dúró. Ó kù ó la ní ǹjọ́ tí ẹ possible ká gbà lọ ǹjẹ́ àwọn èèyàn ready láti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó yá máa fi wálẹ̀ pẹ̀lú fídíò yẹn sí. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ o láyọ̀.
Yeah.
Yeah, from you first, sir.
Yes. Well, good afternoon to you. Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ o. Right. Ọlọ́run á fún wa ṣe o.
Àmín.
Right. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá gbogbo ọmọ Oòduà all over the world. Mo kí gbogbo yín o. we are engaged in this historic struggle, and we are going to be victorious very soon. We will have our own country, so we can begin to build it in our own image, and not in the image of the Fulani. God bless you. God bless you.
So,
God will us move forward to build a country that will rank among the best in the world.
That's right. Thank you, sir. To get down to it. I didn't know, sir. Let's hear from you too, sir.
Yeah, ekuṣẹ́ takuntakun. Odùduwà gbìyìn o. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí alànà ti wí, a ti ní ìdánilójú wípé a máa gba orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá olómìnira tó dẹ̀ máa jẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè tó fẹ́ràn ìtẹ̀síwájú, tó máa pèsè iṣẹ́ fún gbogbo àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa, tó máa rí pé kò sẹ́ni tí ò níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́, níbi tí àlàáfíà ti máa jọba, tọkàn gbogbo aráàlú tó máa balẹ̀. Ìdánilójú tí mò ń fún yín nìyí lórúkọ alànà, torí gbogbo ìgbà làwọn náà máa ń sọ pé irú orílẹ̀-èdè tá a fẹ́ nìyẹn. Inú wa dẹ̀ dùn pé a nírú èèyàn bíi Máyégún tó ń bá wa gbé ìkéde orílẹ̀-èdè olómìnira Yorùbá tó ń bá wa gbé sókè, tó ń bá wa sọ káàkiri kárí ayé. Ọlọ́run á túbọ̀ máa tún yín ṣe. Ẹ ṣé.
Thank you so much, sir. So, ibi tá ti máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ wa majorly lénìí ni pé a rí gbogbo setback tí a witness nígbà tí wọ́n attack ilé olóyè Sunday Igboho. We're making so many progress at the time, and we're monitoring the progress until they struck. Now, that setback seems to be over now. So, if we have to do a quick catch-up, Baba, you have to relocate back to Benin Republic because of Oloye Sunday Igboho. Do you mind sharing that experience with us before we get deep into this conversation today, sir?
Thank you very much. Yes, I and Deputy Alana, Professor Adenia, were in Benin Republic. We were just in transit. We were planning to move on. But that night we got information that he had been arrested. That Sunday, Igboho had been arrested. And that was within minutes of his arrest. Friends at the airport called us to say, your son has been arrested. And I said, okay. And we moved into action immediately. Within minutes also, we had contacted lawyers to step in, because we know, especially learning from the experience of the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. We know that the Nigerian government must have a hand in it. And we were right. We were told that night that there was a helicopter ready near the airport to whisk Sunday back to Nigeria. We didn't see the helicopter, but we got credible reports from the airport that that was the situation. So we asked our lawyer to make sure that that will never happen. So the lawyers went out and registered their presence as lawyers for this man who had been arrested at the airport. They didn't know exactly where they had taken him. They didn't immediately know. But then they set out to go and find out, where they had taken him. And they found out and registered that they were the lawyers for this person. That made it impossible for any authority, anybody in Benin Republic to send him to Nigeria without taking him to court. So he went to court. And the situation is that he didn't commit any offense in Benin Republic. He didn't enter the country without proper documentation. He could see in but you understand how these things can happen. That's right. So they decided that they were going to investigate. They were going to investigate. And that was a very good step for them to take. Because every country has the right to investigate anything in its territory.
That's right.
Nigeria cannot say you cannot investigate. So that was a very good thing for us, that they told the Nigerian authorities and the rest of the world that they were investigating, and they should leave us alone to do the investigation. That prevented Sunday from being taken to Nigeria. And you cannot tell them they cannot investigate. So that's the situation until we are then able to step in and begin to negotiate with the authorities of the matter. I cannot say everything here because a lot of it is very,
and that's what
very highly confidential.
With Professor Adeniro as well, yeah?
Yeah.
But the end result is that they agreed with us, and on the terms that, and they have released our son to us. Sunday was released to me as his father.
That's right.
Yeah, because that's what I had been known by for months while he was in the. So Sunday was released to me as his father, and Professor Adenina was enormously. It was a great thing that I had him by my side, because I don't speak French, but he is a professor of French.
Wow.
And so he had in fact taught in a Benin university before in French. So, so we were a very good team. I could say what we needed to say, and he would interpret them, what I say to them, and interpret what they were saying to me. Occasionally we mixed Yoruba with it. They spoke some Yoruba, we speak Yoruba, and so on. But thank God where we are. Sunday is away from, is no longer being held by anybody.
That's right, sir.
Some people have been saying, oh, Daniel sick, sick, can't at all. There is no sickness in him. Oh, I release it. No, that's not true. One release one doctor said, no, one release a phone me by me, but one release a phone can't.
Thank you so much, sir.
We cannot afford to lay all our cards on the table.
Right.
Nǹkan tá a bá fi pamọ́ ló máa ń níyì. Àwọn tá à ń bá tayò, àwọn ò kí ń sọ fún wọn, wọn ò kí ń sọ fún wa kí làwọn fẹ́ ṣe sí wa. So bá a ṣe máa rìnrìn wa, a gbọ́dọ̀ sọ fún wọn. But certain things are critical at this stage. We should start thinking of diplomatic shuttles to countries that we can identify as being sympathetic to our cause. And there are quite a number of them. Here in Africa, in the Americas, in Europe, in Asia. So that's going to require considerable resources. Secondly, we have to sustain the momentum for Yoruba self-determination at home, so that our people continue to agitate and take all necessary steps to protect themselves and to advance the case of an independent Yoruba nation. Soonest. Gbogbo àwọn tó yẹ kí wọ́n bá wa fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀, àwọn ọ̀tọ̀nkùlú, àwọn mọ̀jẹ̀sín, ọkùnrin, obìnrin, ọmọdé, àgbà, ìyálọ́jà ni o, àgbẹ̀ ni o, oníṣòwò ni o, awakọ̀ ni o, gbogbo wa pátápátá ní ìsìn a gbọ́dọ̀ àfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀. Torí nǹkan tó gbé Sunday jáde, mo gbọ́dọ̀ sọ ní ìsìn, a gbọ́dọ̀ gbóríyìn fún Prof. Banji Akintoye. Torí nígbà tí gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣú dẹ̀dẹ̀, tó dàbẹ̀ ni pé kò ní sí mọ́lẹ̀ mọ́ rárá. Bàbá yẹn sọ pé ó dijọ́ tán bá fi Sunday Igboho lẹ̀ kóun tó fi Benin lẹ̀. Ibi kọ́ là ń bọ̀, à ń tẹ̀síwájú nínú àjò ní gbogbo ilé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀. Nígbà tó ṣẹlẹ̀ until Sunday Igboho is released, I will not leave Benin Republic. And that's how we got smart now. And, you know, fortunately, I think the authorities noticed that there is an elderly scholar of international repute who is a leader of the Yoruba worldwide and who is committed to Sunday Igboho's welfare. Then, of course, an invitation came. We honored the invitation. Like Alan said, we cannot say everything here. Yeah. But apart from paying tribute to Professor Banji Akintoye, we should also thank the Benin authorities because they showed great understanding. So when our compatriots were planning on going to court, either in Arusha or ECOWAS or here in Benin or anywhere in the world, that was why we kept telling them, let's wait a bit, let's take it easy. Right. Some were so impatient. They were saying, no, we've been waiting all these months. We told them, look, we cannot tell you everything that is going on. That's right. Moves were being made behind the scenes. And if we are not going to settle the whole thing, we shouldn't talk. We shouldn't say anything. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀yin àwọn àgbà wa ṣe máa ń sọ, wọ́n ní ẹ má bínú inú lóko ẹyẹ ń gbé. So bó ṣe rí nìyẹn. So nǹkan méjì ló ṣe pàtàkì fún wa ní ìsìn. Àwọn tá a máa kọ́ sí ní gbogbo àgbáyé wọ́n ti wà lẹ́yìn ká lè rí orílẹ̀-èdè wa. Èkejì, ìdáàbòbò ní ilé àti bí ìjàngbara rẹ̀ bó ṣe máa túbọ̀ fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀ sí tó máa kárí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn. Olówó ni o, mẹ̀kúnnù ni o, ọkùnrin ni, obìnrin ni, ọmọdé ni, àgbà ni. Mo rò pé àwọn nǹkan méjì yẹn ló kọ́ wájú ní ìsìn.
Priority. Alanosa.
Ẹ ṣé, mò ń gbọ́.
Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá mi kí wọn lẹ́yìn ni. What is lay priority wa báyìí sí? And I believe that I agree with that, if I may say that, sir.
Yes, we are already working on the priorities now.
Great.
We are already making contacts around the world for the Yorubanation. And we are discovering that we are stronger than we thought.
That's right, sir.
We are discovering that we Yoruba are much stronger than we thought. And that's a happy thing to happen to a nation. Ibita ti saka kiri ibita ti eti de rara. Ẹni tó ń ṣe ọ̀gá wọn pátápátá ń bẹ̀ president àbí prime minister ó sọ pé Professor Akintoye kàn ní university ní America. Ẹlòmíràn wà ní gbébi tó jìnnà tó sọ pé Professor Akintoye kò kọ́ ní university, but he was a very popular man in our university in so place in America. He was a famous professor in our university in America. And so gbogbo wọn yẹn ṣẹlẹ̀, and we are just grateful. And the same thing with Professor Adeniran. Professor Adeniran is a graduate of the highest university in France. And that's not a little thing. At the Sorbonne. That's not a little thing. So there are other people who are coming in. There are other people who are coming in and they're offering their support. Men, women.
Something about getting to Yoruba professionals, ideologists, bringing them into, you know what I mean? You told me something similar, that you have that plan as well to broaden.
Yes, we are putting together now the details of Yoruba ideology. It's not a country walasan.
No.
It has to be an ideological approach that will lay down precisely what the Yoruba people are and want to be in the world. And everybody who is working in the context of the Yoruba self-determination struggle,
yes, sir,
will have to agree to that ideology. We have to subscribe to that ideology. We are working on that now. It has come to, we have come to that point
as well.
There are things that it's difficult to say, but we must hint a little here and there.
We need some things
We must hint here and there. And a white man, a professor of economics,
right,
was talking in a seminar somewhere in Europe. And he said, the philosophy of the white world must be to make sure that Nigeria, that Africa, the world become an industrialized part of the world. We need them to be where they are now. That is, producers of raw materials for us to process and sell back to them. When we allow them to become industrialized, we, the Western world, will suffer seriously. That is a major thing, and our people must recognize the country out of Nigeria is a struggle to create the situation in which we change the logic of Western domination of the world. As I said, we are not antagonistic to any group, but we must show that we are human beings too.
That's right.
And that there is nothing they can do that we cannot do. Our father, Chief Awolowo, used to say, we can do whatever any other group of people in the world can do. As a young man, I believe that very strongly. I think we have now come to the point at which we must go back to it in a very strong and dedicated manner. We want to be a nation that is as strong and well organized and highly respected in the world.
That's right.
And that is able to take its own decisions that will not be easy for anybody from outside to come and twist around. We must begin to lay the foundation now. And that's where the whole question of an ideology comes in. This is a historic struggle. It's a struggle not only to free the Yoruba people, but to help the Yoruba people to lead the black world in a direction that will give dignity and respect to the black man in the world. I can't say more than that. I have said a little too much already, in fact.
Well, maybe not, maybe not. But I love the fact that you are holding back a little as well, or you are holding back a lot. But the little you are giving to us are quite, impressive and promising, I have to say. But let's go back to Professor Adeniran's, summation of what he told us earlier, the priority, and using this momentum that we have now. Something strike you when my name was mentioned to you and what we were doing. And we had a chat around that behind the scene, which you personally told me about your admiration of what we are doing. And finally, I'm bringing you to the people who actually made that happen. So talking about using the momentum, Yorubas coming together all over the world, believing that when an injustice is done to one, it's pretty much like an injustice done to all. And in this case, they didn't just talk. They put actions into our words, and that got your attention. Where you believe that if Yorubas can believe this strongly, then we can build on this. Talking about unity and all that. So priority and our people. So I have my people here. and they have you here too. Now, if you have to say, this is it, let's do it, how would you say that? Because somebody said something about, Professor Adeniro said something about finance. You can't do all these beautiful ideas of yours. You can't really make them happen if you don't have a reliable, dependable source of funding. And here we are. The Yorubas have proved that, including our friends who are friends of Yorubas on Mayegun's Diary Political, they did prove something that got your attention. So if you have to put this in a context, talking about using the momentum, Professor Adenirosa, where would you say we should start from? Using the unity word and using this momentum as well, going forward, sir?
Well, like you said, I think we have to reach out to all those who are our own all over the world. You know, the Yoruba, they are not restricted to Nigeria.
That's right.
Now, for instance, the population of the Yoruba in Nigeria is estimated at something between 55 and 60 million. But you have those in Brazil who claim Yoruba identity, and the number, I think, well over 80 million. Amazing. We have to reach out to them. Then you have them in various sizes, in the Latin American countries, in the Caribbeans. You have them in North America. You have them in Europe. We have to reach out to them where they are so that they know that they are reckoned with and that they have a contribution to make in ensuring that the Yoruba take their rightful place in the world among the community of nations. So what we are doing is not just for Yoruba alone, it's for the entire Black race, as Alan has pointed out. But to be able to do that, we have to rally all the Yoruba in the world. And we have to be conscious of the fact that there are Yoruba people in Brazil who may not be as dark-skinned as you and I are, Mayegun, but who are very proud of that Yoruba identity. We have to carry them along. We have to bring them on board. That is very crucial. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Then I'll go to Alano. Here we are. Maybe you are the right person to even talk about galvanizing and then, encouraging all the Yorubas and those who have the Yorubas interest at that, right? To what? To concentrate their energy, their resources genuinely towards what can really bring about that Yoruba nation. Baba, if you have to put it in your own words, right? How do we do that?
Yes, we are, as I said, we are a very strong nation.
Yes, sir.
And from time to time, individuals arise among us who exemplify that strength. It's very good for the Yoruba nation. Actually, I interviewed an old man in 1963 when I was doing my research for my PhD thesis. In 1963, I was interviewing a group of chiefs in Ikino. And they told me, they asked me, have you interviewed the Olobagun? Olobagun is a small town in Ikino. The Olobagun at that time, Oba Adekansola, the Olobagun, was a very old man, but very knowledgeable about Yoruba traditions and so on. So I went to interview him. I interviewed him for 3 days. And one of the things he said to me that has stuck in my mind, that has guided my steps in attending to the affairs of the Yoruba nation is this. So we Yoruba were made from the beginning to be a great nation. Right. No matter what happens, we can never become a small nation. God Olodumare has arranged, has our earliest ancestors entered into a contract with Olodumare, so that there are people who are lined up to come into the Yoruba nation at critical moments in the history of the Yoruba nation. When it looks as if the Yoruba nation is sleeping or suffering or whatever, then they will pop up and they will lead the Yoruba nation far forward. And they will never, there are so many that they will never cease coming. Sometimes there may be two together. Often you may not even recognize them, but they will keep coming. Sometimes the gap between one and the next one may be very long, maybe years or decades. But when the time comes for somebody to come and wake the Yoruba nation up, that one will come. That is the secret of the power of the Yoruba nation. We can never become, no matter what anybody may, all of these things that they're doing in Nigeria cannot make the Yoruba become a small nation. It's not going to happen. We are going to be right there in the forefront in the world at all times. It was a big thing to ponder, and I keep pondering today, and I keep living upon it today. The Yoruba nation will rise, but the important thing we must recognize that a lot of the rising will occur through individuals who begin to do things that are unusual. Like a 36-year-old young man called a meeting in London in 1945 and say, let us form Igboho'S. 30-something years old young man. The fellow of today is our father, but he was a boy too at some time, and he was just a boy at the time that he was calling a meeting of Igboho'S. That is it. Samuel Ajayi Crowther was a poor village boy who was seized and taken away to slavery. And he came back to teach the Yoruba people how to write their language and gave the orthography not only to the Yoruba language, but to the languages of some other people in what is now Nigeria.
That's right.
They will always keep coming. Such people will always keep coming. When I heard that there was an effort being made by one young man called Mayegun, you know, you don't, because I've never had the name before, I've never met him before, I didn't pay much attention. But then what struck me is that people began to call me. People of good repute with me, people whom I trust, people whom I know, began to call me, Baba, or this Mayegun, I know him. He's a dependable person, he's a reliable person, and he's very patriotic and loyal to the Yoruba cause. Okay. Oh, we will go and introduce you to him, or introduce him to you, or whatever.
Right.
And the number of people coming to me and to Professor Adenina just. So I said, okay, let's find out what is happening here. And so your group invited me, and I think is that.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's breaking up a bit. Don't break up there, Bob. I'm going, sir.
Yeah. Among the people who know you, who have interacted with you, who have done things with you in the world, you are regarded with great respect. They tell me that you are a man of great integrity. In this struggle, we should give this to such a person in the struggle. And I'm glad that I'm a servant. I'm a servant of the Yoruba nation. When I encounter this kind of information, I react to them. I respond to them. I responded to the question, to the information. And I'm glad that more and more of the people who know you have been coming to me to say the same thing. There are people here in Nigeria just next door, who are banking business and business and this, that. And they say, Baba, this is somebody we can recommend very highly to you. So that's the situation. Yeah, my son, I mustn't appear to be flattering my son. I'm not flattering you. I'm telling you what the information that has come to me. And I am happy that I have found you to be what they say you are. I'm very glad. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
But so we have our agenda, which will require a lot of resources. A lot of countries now want us to send people to come and see them, and we must be strong enough to do so. Fortunately, there is another effort being made to create a Yoruba National Fund. As a matter of fact, I'll be holding a meeting with those people tonight, and it is possible that next Saturday, we will be able to announce to the world that the Yoruba National Fund has been created. And I mentioned that to you, and I loved your response. You said, oh, okay, we can be the receptacle of funds. And the other two can also be, but whoever wants to come and take any resources from us to do anything for the Yoruba nation, we will ask them to go to the Yoruba National Fund, which will have all the machinery. The way it is being planned, it will have the machinery. It will have a board of trustees of highly regarded Yoruba people. It will have a committee that will assess every request for funds. It will be, and the funds will be issued by an accounting firm, and then there will be an audit company that will audit the account regularly and make the audit. So the way they are planning it is gorgeous.
It is beautiful.
And that's why I said, just let us wait, because I love what I'm hearing from these people. So so they will have the machinery. The other fund, you said it will be
they suggested that we'll call it Yoruba Rescue Fund.
Rescue Fund, yes.
Okay.
The outside Yoruba land.
Yeah, outside
the source. Yeah, go on, sir.
So that other fund and this Yoruba Center and the Yoruba National Fund working together, hand in hand. Beautiful plan, beautiful idea. And I'm very happy that the idea came from you. It's not I who put it forward and said, this is what we should do. No. I was very joyful when you brought out that kind of suggestion. And I'm very proud. I'm proud to be a Yoruba man. We are unique people in the world. The world will begin to see it soon. I say it proudly. I talk proudly wherever I go. And I talk a lot to highly placed people, especially in the academic world.
Yes.
And I think the idea is there now, well planted, that these Yoruba people are going to do something wonderful in the world.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Before I come to you, let me quickly say this.
Yes, sir.
That the Yoruba all over the world, the population of Yoruba all over the world is estimated at about, was from 10 years ago, estimated at over 200 million. Now, you can pick up Paula Abimbola's book on Yoruba culture. It's not voluminous. Very interesting read. It tells you about the Yoruba culture and the strength of the Yoruba culture all over the world. So we are a very big nation, as the Alana has said. We are big, we are powerful, and we are a proud people. Now to you, Mayogun.
Yes, sir.
The first person to speak to me about you happens to be my Aburo from Ile-Ife, Dele Odesami. He spoke of you in such, how shall I put it, glowing terms that I got curious. Baba, what am I saying for you? Ọmọ gidi ni ọkùnrin tó ń jẹ́ Máyégún yẹn. Ó dependable gan. Owó kọ́ ló ń wá. Ó ní program tiẹ̀ tó fi ń pawó táwọn èèyàn máa ń tì sí thousands lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀. Ó ṣùgbọ́n eléyìí tó ń ṣe fún Yorubanation yìí. Ó believe nínú ẹ̀ gan ni o. So he had been always talking to me about Mayegun in the past, shall I say, 8 weeks.
Wow.
Then someone very dear to Prof. Akintoye, and whom I like and respect, Dr. Shonami, a top flight banker from the finance sector, called me up one night and started talking to me about you. Using such terms as dependable, honest, straightforward, committed, fearless. And I said, look, I want to meet this gentleman. This is the kind of person we should be dealing with. So that's what brought us together. People from various sectors of life saying same thing about you. When Professor Akintoye and I say this, we are not trying to flatter you. You happen to be one Yoruba person that nobody has spoken to us negatively about.
Wow.
No Yoruba person has spoken to us, to Professor Akintoye the Alana, and my humble self, about you in any negative time.
That's amazing.
Thank you. It's more than amazing. It's remarkable. I can't believe it. Because we Yoruba people are very critical. We are very critical of each other. We criticize ourselves, I would say very harshly. So to see one of us who is being spoken of in glowing terms by almost everybody is something unique. So that name that you have made for yourself, may it never get tarnished.
Amen to that.
May you hand it over to your children unblemished.
Amen, sir. Thank you so much. So if I have to say to these my two fathers who are so much, I'm so honored to actually be in the same room with you, because we have to use the studio term. We are in the same room right now. It's an honor. Yeah. So can we say that we, through Alano, can we then say we want to call on the Yorubas all over the world, right? That Mayegun is presentable to oversee the generation of interest and resources towards discourse of ours back home. Can we put that and make it official and say we have a Yoruba Rescue Fund, which I am going to go and work on before we make it public? But can we say that is the goal for now, sir? Alano.
Yeah, yes, that's one of our major goals now. And I want to put it before the Yoruba people all over the world. Listen to this very carefully. There have been all sorts of funds and so on. There have been funds that have made my heart bleed. People say, oh, I want to fight this, yeah. GoFundMe, GoFundMe. And all they do is to fund themselves.
I just press on their line.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I am father to all. I don't renounce or denounce any of my children, but I know what I know. I know that a lot of money have flowed from the pockets of large numbers of Yoruba people to accounts that never made it to the Yoruba struggle.
Now, talking about the sweetest parts, which is, that was actually the part that actually got me kind of emotional when I heard it from Baba's mouth that if Igboho is not released, I am not going to leave this place. So we can actually see that when Igboho was locked up for 7 months, they locked our two Baba up, including those who have been, you know, managing and taking care of them back and forth. Your welfare became the forefront of this whole thing. I'm saying this to you again because of our time. I'm saying this to you that we are still so much willing, right, to take care of that. There are other things that you probably won't like us to talk about on the program tonight. I mean, which includes the legal, other things behind the scene. I've told you that you always receive our attention whenever you do need that in this regard. So would you mind, sir, just before we go, because one or two people may just want to say something, they can call in, ask a question, maybe one or two people, then I'll let you go because of your time. Is that all right? Hello, your name and where you are calling from for the sake of our listener, please.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Aziz Akogun. I'm calling from Dubai.
Ade Akogun from Dubai.
Yes, sir.
Oda, Baba Akintoye 1B, Professor Adeniro 1B. Where do you want to start?
I
actually have to start with both of them.
Ade, Baba Ade.
Mr. Banji, Akintoye, and secondly, I commend my dad, my grandfather, Mr. Adeniro Adewale, long life and prosperity, sir.
Amen.
Thank you.
Can you hear them? Can you hear them? Because they are responding to you.
I'm so happy. This is my first time calling.
I know.
My trying couples of time, but it wasn't go through. Always busy, and today was kind of. I'm highly so happy. I mean, I don't know how to. I mean, it was kind of
anyway.
And as it is, I was so happy. I can have a conversation with our grandfather, Professor Banji Akintoye. Sorry for mentioning your name, sir.
Oh, that's all right. I love to hear it from your mouth. It's beautiful.
I don't have anything to say, but I just want to say,
it's like Ade is not communicating with us. Ade is just talking. He's not listening. So if you are calling in, Akintoye is talking. Professor Adeniro is talking. I am also talking. Make it communicative, okay? Don't just talk because they are talking and they will be they'll be breaking you intermittently as well. Make it a conversational stuff. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Your name and where you are calling from?
Geneva, Mayego Commando, Mayego Omo Jesu. I stop it there.
Thank you.
Mayego Commander. God bless you. God bless you.
And you too.
Now, first of all to Baba, Daddy Baba Banji Akintoye. May the Lord bless you. The Bible says.
Thank you.
Like satisfy him and show him my salvation.
That's right.
Amen.
Tó gùn tó lọ́pẹ́ ní Ọlọ́run àti ta yín lọ́rẹ sà.
Àmín.
Pátápátá la gbóṣùbà fún yín. Iṣẹ́ tó lọ́run fi ràn yín àjẹyè lẹ́ jẹ́ lórúkọ Jésù.
Àmín.
Ilẹ̀ ìlérí yẹn lórúkọ Jésù. A sì jẹ́ ilé náà pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè. Àti bàbá, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá Pòfẹ́sọ̀
Adeniro,
Professor Adeniro, God bless you, sir.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni o. Amen.
Ṣé ń jọwọ́ Mósè sókè Ọlọ́run agbẹ́yìn náà ga o.
Àmín.
Ọlọ́run agbẹ́yìn náà ga.
Àmín.
Ayọ̀ mi fún púpọ̀ lónìí láti bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. My name is Pastor Pẹ̀lúọlá. I'm from Èrúwà ní Bàràpá.
Okay.
Ẹ bá lè má rí ẹ pẹ̀lú kan tí bàbá olóyè Sunday Igboho ṣe. So,
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Very proud of you, sir. We are very proud of him. And
Thank you.
Ọlọ́run gbàdúrà yẹn jálẹ̀.
Àmín.
bàbá olóyè gbà freedom tó ọlọ́run abá ṣe ní freedom tòótọ́ lórúkọ Jésù tí ò ní kankan mọ́. ṣe rí ẹ̀yà tí mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ bàtà ni pé irú trust fund Mayegun, that's very good. I was so happy that tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa owó ti lọ́ọ̀yà pé owó tó ń fún lọ́ọ̀yà. I think those lawyers, Mayegun, is a great job that you have done. I think we can keep those people. But my own view would be like to let them still work underneath. Because of speculation here and there, and somebody like Nnamdi Kanu ní Kenya, I think I can share it. Keep it. We all know and we discuss that and we speak about it. Okay, Republic of Benin is 37th state of Nigeria. They can do anything unthinkable. But pẹ̀lú ọlọ́run wà nípa tiwa, kò sí ìmọ̀ràn burúkú tán bá gbà orí wọn ló máa dàlé burúkú ò ní ṣẹlẹ̀.
Àmín àṣẹ.
Àdúrà yẹn ká máa gbé ìgbésẹ̀. Àwọn lọ́ọ̀yà yẹn torí pé they are sharp, they are perfect, they know what they are doing, the investigative part of it. They can begin on their investigation so that we can be a step ahead of them. We won't wait, we won't be reactive in our action, but we'll be proactive. Yes. That's what I'm saying. If we have the funds to fund this thing, we can be proactive. God bless you, Mayegun.
God bless
Keep
you,
on
sir.
the good work.
I will.
Greater heights in Jesus' name.
Amen
we love
to
you.
that,
we
Pastor. Shall I respond? Yes, sir.
Pastor. Pastor. Lóòótọ́ ni a gbọ́dọ̀ dẹrálẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n mo fẹ́ fún yín ní ìdánilójú kan a lè sọ pé ilé la wà ń bi ta wà yìí.
Mo mọ̀ yẹmọ sọ pé kò yẹ kó sọ máa sá lóòrùn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni nítorí gbà tó dójú ẹ̀ wọ́n fi yé wa pé kò sí ẹnìkan kan ní orílẹ̀-èdè wọn tí ò ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ Yorùbá lára. Ìbáàjẹ́ láti di ìyá àbí láti di bàbá ó lè sọ Yorùbá kò lè sọ Yorùbá o pé gbogbo àwọn làwọn ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ Yorùbá lára wọn. Ẹ má yẹ ká sọ jù yẹn.
Ẹ má yẹ ká sọ jù lẹ mo ní ànádà tọ́lá alànà
mo fẹ́ dá yín lójú pé a yàtọ̀ wọ́n ní ìjẹ́ kan jẹ́ tẹ̀tẹ̀.
Alàgbà Adénirọ̀ I mean sorry Professor Adénirọ̀ sir mo ní another caller. Hello.
Ṣé mi ló kàn?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹ ti wà live.
Okay èmi Adéyanjú láti London ni mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ o. First time mo máa kọ́ lórí program mi Adéyanjú Adépẹ́ láti London ni mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀. First time tí máa kọ́ lórí program yìí mo máa ń gbọ́ mo ti ń gbọ́ program yìí for the last year. Inú mi dẹ̀ dùn sí nǹkan tí Mayegun ń ṣe. Inú mi dẹ̀ dùn sí nǹkan tí àwọn bàbá wa náà ń ṣe ẹkú iṣẹ́ takuntakun tẹ̀ ń ṣe. Ìbéèrè lórí petition ti raise 5 million ní ǹjẹ́ kò ti pọ̀ jù within 2 months because ẹ̀mí máa ń ṣọ́ nọ́mbà yìí lójoojúmọ́. Mo dẹ̀ feel pé ní ìgbà tí mo ṣẹ̀ sọ ní mo sọ láìpẹ́ yìí about 93,000 ní ó dẹ̀ kéré jù lójú mi torí mo feel pé ó jẹ́ kó ti jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. So mo wá bèrè pé ṣé 5 million ní tá gbójúlé yìí ṣé kò ti pọ̀ jù within the next 2 months ṣé ó ṣeé ṣe.
Àwọn bàbá ti gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn wá bá wa fèsì sí yẹn náà. Thank you so much sir. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n tún gbé lómi ìwọlé náà kí n gbọ́ question tiwọn náà. God bless you right.
Okay.
God bless you sir. Thank you so much. So mo ní another caller. Hello ma.
Hello, Mayegun. Good evening, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, how are you today?
I am very
well. And how is the family?
We thank God. How are you?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm just happy to be able to do this.
To see the Babas?
Yes, especially for the fact that we have our daddy who has been in the first month of our struggle. I just want to thank you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well. I can hear you.
Let me check. I've lost her. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello there. Good afternoon. Sorry. Your name and where you are calling from?
Yeah, this is Tunde from South Africa.
Tunde from South Africa. I have Professors Banji Akintoye Alano and then the Deputy Alano, Professor Adeniro in the studio rather.
Yeah. I've been actually watching from the beginning.
Right.
On behalf of all the Mayegun comrades,
Mayegun soldiers.
You are Mayegun soldiers, Baba. Mayegun soldiers. We are really bad. And actually, I thought based on you spoke about something earlier on,
right?
Pertaining to our ideology. Actually, I've always thought about that a lot because whenever a movement, it should be based on something. It has to be ideology. And I think ideology and bring our constitution on each state of Yorubanation.
That's right.
So, yeah, and we believe because of based on your experience and everything and your educational background. That's
right. I build on it.
And that's what I used to tell Mayegun. That Mayegun, you always show example to all of us.
That's right.
You could Nigeria in stuff. Nigeria, through Mayegun platform. Mayegun to show our way, we say to show Nigeria transparency, accountability. But people money in Nigeria, and it's about we're never together. We are still so many things been a Yorubanation before where we became Nigeria. Means to what in lack. It's very insane, sir. I don't know, maybe there's time for questions.
No, go on. They would love to answer that.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. It's very insane because the mobilization of this movement has to be very, very strong.
Yes.
And I've heard a little from Professor Adeniro from what he said so far. But my own question right now, critical question is this. Because of, he said we have over, from what they did the start, we have over 200 million Yoruba
worldwide.
And I would love to, to do a mobilization here in South Africa. If I'm not, if I'm being permitted. So
Tunde is volunteering in South Africa. Is a Yoruba
in
South Africa, and if it's counted at 200 million, it's like Tunde wants to be one of the coordinators in South Africa. Go on, they are hearing you.
That's great.
So I would love to have where I can go on and see where people, I don't know, maybe they already have Alano or Yorubanation people here
in South Africa.
But if there are some, I would love us to mobilize each other, call on anyone, or get anybody to talk to. Let's mobilize ourselves. Let's talk. Let's educate each other. Because we need real education when it comes to this. Because we need to start educating ourselves right now.
Discovering ourselves, mobilizing ourselves, and all of that. So when do we start that? Thank you, Tunde. I'll let Baba Alano to chip in and start from that. Talking about people who are willing and ready now to join. So everybody just wants you to say yes. Go ahead if you believe in it. Go on.
Yes, Yorubanation is the organization that is calling the whole Yorubanation forward. To come and fulfill their destiny. So whoever feels touched in his heart to offer his service to Ilanomo is very much welcome. Professor Adenira can handle that, and the General Secretary and so on. By the way, our General Secretary now is a well-known person, at least from his father, Kunle Adelakun. the son of Adelakun Obodo Ibadan. He has spent many years abroad. He spent many years in Germany. He's back home now. He's the worldwide general secretary of Ilana Omoodua. So, Professor Adenina, you call Professor Adenina after this, and he will give you all the information. But I'm very happy that you say you want to start a group in South Africa that is dedicated to the ways of Ilana Omoodua. I thank you very much. And we will pick that up. Professor Adenina will pick it up immediately.
Certainly.
People are very proud. Honestly speaking, sir, you know what you're doing. They are so proud of, you know, the steps you are actually laying for us. And they also feel so proud as well in Mayegun being part of the generation, right? The younger generation that feels like if we want to get it right, it's better we start early. And you yourselves. So this is why they said, well, we are ready to do anything now. We need to be stronger. We need to be coordinated. And it seems that's what we are doing now. We will do that. So let me take another one, sir, before we call it a night. Hello there.
Yeah, hello, Mayogo. This is Fidelis again, calling from Canada.
Fidelis from Canada. Baba Akintoye is here. Baba Adenira is here. They have been with me for an hour now.
Yeah, in fact, I'm watching your show from Canada here, and I'm so impressed about what both professors have said.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, would I call that my first schooling was in Federal University of Technology, Akure. So I schooled in Akure, and to be frank, even though I'm not a Yoruba, I'm from the Niger Delta, I've always want to support and would always continue to stand by for this just cause. As a matter of fact, the truth about it is that I don't know, but it's just like a question, you know, like what Professor Adeni actually said, that Yorubas are up to about 200 million, you know? Is there a way we can get a census of ourselves, you know, apart from the fact that we know this people, but can we see, can there be a program or probably, you know, a logistics whereby people who are interested in this can list their names, you know, more like a census, so that with that census, we will know if we are really working with the right amount of people, or if we will need to still,
and then be our target.
Yes, so that this figure of 200 million will be something that is realistic, you know, because if you have names, you have phone numbers, you send texts and all that, then the question of raising funds will not be a problem. Here in Canada, I've talked to there are two white friends of mine who are saying, look, Gary, Fidelis, we are actually interested in this struggle, you know? How do we also come on show? How do we get involved? How do we, because if you see a lot of white people come up on air, also talk about why this struggle is necessary and why the need for us to achieve this goal. It goes a long way, you know? So this sense of a thing, I think, is very important. Let's know what figures we have. If there's a need to campaign for more people to join, then fine. Then, but if we already have this figure, then let's have a way to commune with them. That
statistics too. God bless you.
Sending text, and then they are aware that yes, so this is what. There are some of my friends here in this show that have made it, even including myself, that every month what I'm going to be contributing to the struggle. So regardless of whether I debit my account or not, that amount leaves immediately and goes in for that struggle until it's actualized.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
But the only result that I get is to be fact that at the end of the day, when we achieve this, when a book will be written, my name will also be there that I also did to make sure this. So that's the way to motivate people. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Fidelis is talking about numbers. How can we make use of this number to our advantage? How can we target? Can we build something like an online where everybody can quickly, add their names and what have you to the what have you know? So we'll come back to that. I don't know. Baba Akintoye is gone. So, sir, I am going to take one more call and see if Baba will join us. Then we'll take on that before we go, sir. Let me take one more.
Okay.
So using our statistic was Fidelis' question. So I have another person on the line. Hello.
Hello, my good morning. My name is Olani. Olaniyi Olajide. I'm from Malaysia.
Olaniyi Olajide, originally from Malaysia. But where are you calling from now?
I'm calling from the United States.
From the US. I still have Professor Adeniro with me.
Okay,
and hear you loud and clear while we wait for Professor Banji Akintoye. Please, fire on, sir.
Connected.
All right, sir. Thank you, Baba. I want to say thank you to you, Adupelo, Baba Alano, at the professor. I want to commend you and thank you for all that you've been doing now, all you still do. Because the work until we get to where we're going to, that's what we still have to continue.
We'll have to continue.
And I just want to say that, Baba, if there is a way, somebody put it on the chat that we should start buying all our land, because one of the things I find out is that if these people from the other side, they are coming to buy our land, especially the land in Lagos. We should keep buying our land. Let people start buying those lands so that these guys will not take our land, because that's some of their strategies. They've already dispersed their people intentionally so that they move down south to our side to come and take over our land. I want us to do something about that so that we need to encourage our people to buy those lands to make sure that these guys don't displace us from our land.
That's actually a very brilliant idea. With good resources channeled towards that, Yorubas can actually buy back all the land, and you can't really get that taken away from you. You know what I mean? That's a brilliant one. I'll let Professor respond to that. Alano is also with us now. They are trying to get that sorted. But Professor Denirosa, that's a new one. I don't know if you have ever had any thought around that. The plan
sure. I believe very strongly in that. Yeah. And for some years, I've always floated the idea that even the Yoruba in the diaspora should be encouraged to invest in real estate back in Yoruba land. It's a wonderful idea. It's a wonderful idea.
Wonderful one.
It's worth
consideration as well.
It's worth working on. Now, two other things I want to react to. Today from South Africa. Please, I'd be extremely delighted to hear from you, because we've been very anxious to establish a presence in South Africa, because South Africa is very important to. It's a very important country in Africa. So it's one of the countries we are going to be touching base with. And it's very important that before we come there, some of our people there must have been doing some groundwork. So I'd be expecting to hear from you so that we can start, doing something in South Africa, like preparing the ground. Then I think it was Fidelis who spoke about this question of, I don't know whether to call it a database for the Yoruba worldwide. Yes, it can be done. We will only require the services of statisticians, experts in population studies, cultural studies experts, and people in ICT. It can be done. Yes. As a matter of fact, I have a feeling that we are closer to 300 million than to 200 million, because the figure of 200 million was what we were banding around in 2007 to 2010.
Years ago.
We are now in 2022. Given the rate of procreation, I'm sure that we must be approaching 300 million or thereabouts. So it is something worth looking at and working on. Well, thank you for that suggestion.
Nice one, sir. Alano is back with us, and I have one more person on there before I ask Baba and yourself, right, to give us your closing remark. Do you know one thing, sir? If I have to be honest, people will actually love you to stay for another half an hour. They're already saying it in the comments.
We are almost exhausted.
I don't want to stretch. I don't want to stretch you, okay? But let me take this call.
Don't forget about 87.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Olaniyi Olalemi.
Olalemi.
I'm calling from Olalemi.
Olalemi.
So I'm calling from the US. I'm also from Malaysia.
Elisha.
I want to thank our both fathers. They have been very, very inspiring. Me, for one, it was the interview that Professor Banji Akintoye granted Ladia Credo on channel about 2 years ago that changed everything for me. All right. And what you have done so far is you are showing me
that's right.
With people like you, charging the way forward, telling us this direction, I think that still is slight hope for the Yoruba race.
I believe.
And in Wahiti.
Thank you very much. The younger generation. Our God, yes, our God will lift you up and use you to build the next nation of the Yoruba people. Talking about our numbers, I gave a lecture in Wilmington, Delaware. I gave a lecture in Wilmington, Delaware in 2014.
Hello, sir.
Alano, just give us a minute. Let me still on the phone. It's saying something, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Please, I just want to make a suggestion, just so that I can quickly get up the line.
Please.
I said, since Nigeria is already Yoruba, and that Benin Republic has proven itself or herself to be a good ally of Yoruba.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, will it make sense for us to just pitch our tent and make Benin Republic our campaign hub for this Yoruba nation self-determination, and also the
brilliant suggestion. That's a brilliant suggestion. Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. What we are discovering,
and all that.
Yeah, what we are discovering is that Benin Republic, Benin and Togo together.
So yeah, Baba, go on, sir.
Yeah, that's a brilliant suggestion about Benin Republic. What we who are here are discovering is that Benin and Togo together might be the right home for the as the birthplace of the revolution for the Yorubanation. The government is human. There is it's not like the Nigerian kind of government, which is like savages, killing people and so on. No, it's not like that. The other thing is that the people here, the Yoruba people here, are very patriotic about the Yoruba nation. Almost every week, demonstration, release Igboho. Almost every week. And then another phenomenon. Àwọn kan wà níbí tán súnmọ́ wa gan-an. Ara wọn wà ní Badagry wa, à ń pè wọ́n ní àwọn ègùn. Àwọn French in spell wọn, orúkọ wọn Gun, G-U-N. Àwọn ègùn. Láti ìgbà tá a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí, they have never backed away. Àwọn ọba wọn, àwọn ordinary people, they have supported us every inch of the way.
It's true.
So, yeah, so the Yoruba people here, plus their brethren, and so on, can be the home for this Yoruba revolution. And what we are dealing with is not just the Yoruba in Nigeria, it's a Yoruba nation. The transatlantic Yoruba nation, transatlantic Yoruba nation. The idea is growing of a transatlantic Yoruba nation. In 2014, I was giving a lecture about this in Wilmington, Delaware, in the United States. And I said that the population of the Yoruba in Brazil was 70,000. One young man jumped up. I said, I'm from Brazil. I'm a Brazilian.
Million, sir.
We are not 70 million, sir. We are 80 million. Brazil. A few months ago, one chief spoke from the country called Uruguay. He threatened that if the Fulani continued to brutalize the Yoruba people in Nigeria, they were going to come to defend their homeland. That's the way he put it. Our ancestral homeland, he said. And he said, I am speaking for Yoruba people in 40 countries. 40 countries. Let's just go on fighting this war and continue to do it the way we have been doing. No violence, no petty violence along Sunday has shown us how to do it, and our boys are doing it. I want to tell you, people don't know that. Our young men back home are organized. I called somebody in one of our states about 3 weeks ago. He said, Baba, mi ò lè bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí because àwọn ọmọ wa ti lọ sínú igbó lọ lé àwọn Fúlàní kúrò níbi tán ti ń yọ àwọn èèyàn wa lẹ́nu. That is happening all over Yoruba land. It's happening in Kogi State.
To mention the safety back home, we need to invest in that and all of that.
Yeah. So what we need is to create strength, give strength to these young people to be able to protect their land. They don't want to fight anybody. They don't want to kill anybody. They are Yoruba people, but they don't want to give their land to foreigners who have come to say, who have come and are saying, we want to take your land from you.
Oh, your life.
In 2014, January, what's his name now? A prominent Fulani man said, Allah, through the British, gave us Nigeria in 1996 to rule and to do with as we please. To rule and to do with as we please. We have been doing that, he said, since 1960, and we intend to continue. If anybody, I am quoting that statement.
That's right.
Because it's a very staggering statement. It is not the kind of statement you hear and it goes away from your mind. It says, Allah, through the British, gave us Nigeria in 1960 to rule and to do with as we please. We have been doing
to continue to do so.
So, take the last one.
And they have suffered.
Just before our time, yeah, I have somebody on the line. Just last person.
Can I just very quickly mention this?
A lot. Hello there.
During the appearances of Sunday Igboho,
can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you. Baba Akintoye is still talking.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention this fact.
Network is freezing to speak. But hang on there for me, Princess. Sorry.
Okay.
Professor, sir, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can. Okay. I will let Princess say something. Then I will let you, Abba, to give us the closing remark on this, the closure, right? And then I will just go back to the behind the curtains to continue to work behind the scene on this whole thing, sir. Princess.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello there.
Nídàgbà burúkú.
Àmín o.
Ọlọ́run á máa tẹ̀síwájú lọ. Àwa náà àdé níjọ́ lójú Máyégún ò ní jọra ẹ̀ lójú níbi tẹwà lágbára Ọlọ́run. Èèyàn bí èṣù ṣùgbọ́n èèyàn kò ní kó sí wa láàrin á rí kí wọ́n ṣe. Gbogbo ìgbà tí bàbá bá máa dàgbà dé tásìkò bá tó, he will finish well.
Amen.
Amen.
Àwọn tí fẹ́ fi iṣẹ́ lẹ̀ fún yìí, ẹ ní regret ẹ̀. Bàbá wọn tẹ bá máa rí wọn táwọn èèyàn bá máa ń pàdé, ààbọ̀ tó dalẹ̀ máa jẹ́.
Àmín.
Ní jíbọ̀ bí àwọn bàbá Adébánjọ. Ọlọ́run ṣàánú gidi gan-an ni. Ṣé rí ìgbésẹ̀ pé yìí? Àsìkò tọ́lọ́run lẹ̀ máa gbèrè. Àsìkò tá a máa jàjà tá a máa gbòmìnira rèé. Àsìkò tí ara ò ní wá mọ̀ rèé. Àsìkò tá a máa kóra wa jẹ, tá a máa kóra wa lùbọ́, tá a máa gbalẹ̀ wa, tá a máa gbé education. Majority of those people tó láwọn di ruler báyìí. Tó ń control ìlú. Majority of them had free education courtesy of Baba Awolowo. The people that had free education, these are the people tó ní gbogbo wa lára. Ara ò ní ni wá.
Àmín o.
Sorry, the network is dodgy, I believe.
Yeah,
it's a little bit dodgy. She's calling from
Nigerian.
Oh, she's back.
Yeah. So this is all bàbá. Ọlọ́run máa bá mi ṣàánú yín délẹ̀. Ẹ ní ojú òkè ná alẹ́, ojú òní tì yín lágbára Ọlọ́run. Whenever you want to finish, you will finish well. Nǹkan tí mò ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa rèé. When we in number, àwọn olórí burúkú yìí. Nọ́mbà nọ́mbà wa ti kára ẹ̀ papọ̀ báyìí. Resources wa ta need. I think gather resources wa papọ̀, I think gather nọ́mbà wa papọ̀.
That's right.
Lágbára Ọlọ́run àádélé ìlérí àní. Kò ní ṣe yín ní Mósè tó ń wọlé lérí lọ́ọ̀kan tí ò ráyè wọbẹ̀. Gbogbo wa la máa wọbẹ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run.
Àmín.
Gbogbo wa la wọbẹ̀ o bàbá. Mo ní kí ni o. A ṣe é ṣe fún wa o. Ojú àgbẹ̀ gbogbo wa o. Lédùn àyà ṣàánú wa o.
Thank you very much for that. So, ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ sọ́dọ̀ bàbá Professor Adeniran. So a ti ní conversation for the past 90 minutes, sir. So if you have to leave a final word, a word as a final one on this program today to my friends that we have told to come together, we have the sanction, I have the authorization to raise money on behalf of the Yoruba nation. So what would be your parting word for them today before we see you again, sir?
Well, I want to react to an earlier suggestion made by someone whose name I cannot remember now, who said we should consider making Benin maybe the base for our, liberation campaign. Yes, it's a very welcome suggestion because, like Baba said, not only are the Yoruba very strong in this country, the Egun are very, very supportive. And I was trying to point out that even when Sunday Igboho was appearing in court, Igboho'S attended court.
That's right.
They had no inhibition whatsoever in showing support. And that's the way it has been across the length and breadth of the country in which we are. So it's a very welcome suggestion. Already, it's turning out to be like that. So we only have to concretize it by maybe having a secretariat and some staff on ground here.
Beautiful.
And with the work being done by Mayegun as a mobilizer of funds for the Yoruba Rescue Fund, it should not be difficult establishing that and sustaining it.
I believe.
And like everybody has said, this is a man of repute. someone whose credentials are impeccable and is eminently qualified to take on that assignment. So on a final note, I want to encourage all Yoruba to please come together, join hands with all of us, and let us rescue our race from the clutches of the savages. We have found ourselves saddled. With in that country called Nigeria. We are going to get out of there sooner than later, very, very soon, anytime from this year. And we are going to make a mark in the world. Because you're all aware, we have the brains. They are making waves all over the world. Like a surgeon who brought out a fetus from the mother's womb, performed an operation on the fetus, returned it to the mother's womb. It was the first in the world. And there are many Yorubas who are doing such feats in various areas of specialization all over the world. So you can imagine if we have our own country and we put up state-of-the-art facilities, of course, they will move the world. Back in the 60s, the Saudi Arabia kings used to come to UCH for treatment. But today, UCH is a shadow of itself. Liberty Stadium was the first such stadium in sub-Saharan Africa. The federal government took it over, ran it down. And so many other assets of Yoruba. So we have to break loose from this, how shall I call it, hell hole, and reinvent ourselves and make our contribution to world civilization. Thank you.
God bless you so much, sir. Alano, Egunla, Lonon Kenyin Bale. What do you all live with today, sir?
I think 2 years ago, I related a dream that I had to our young people worldwide. I will relate it to you now again.
Yes, sir.
I'm not the very religious kind. Don't think about dreams and so on. But this one was so staggering that I cannot forget it. A mighty voice suddenly arose from everywhere in the universe. And it said, your Yorubanation is destined to be a great civilizing nation in the world. You have been allowed to go through the experiences in Nigeria in order to learn a lesson. The lesson is how not to run the affairs of a country, or how to run a country aground. You have learned that lesson now
in Nigeria.
So we are ready to move forward. God himself is with us. He is the guide and the leader of this whole thing. I must tell you, the way we are seeing the hand of God day by day in what we are doing amazes me. I repeat, I'm not the very religious type, but I must tell you that even I can see the hand of God in everything that we are doing. We start a thing, we are not particularly sure how to put it together, but before we know it, it becomes a big thing, bigger than we ever thought about.
That's right.
So that's the experiences that we are going through. I say to the Yoruba people everywhere in the world at this hour, your hour has come. The time for the Yorubanation has come.
Amen to
the
that.
Time for the greatness, for the ultimate destiny of the Yorubanation has come.